What is up, y'all? Welcome back to the MG Truck Series. We're doing it highlight style here from the Milwaukee Mile. And, yeah, we're just going to jump right into it. Brian Scott's our pole sitter in the 16 truck. Matt Crafton to his outside. Mike Skinner in P3 with the 4 being driven by J.R. Fitzpatrick this week. To his outside, Johnny Sauter rounds out the top 5, and to his outside is the 51 of Denny Hamlin. The green flag is waving. We're racing at the Milwaukee Mile, 3 wide already, heading down into turn 1. We're doing this one highlight style to get through this season as quickly as possible. And if you hear a loud noise in the background, which I'm hoping to God you don't, it's because I'm in my dining room recording this, and the refrigerator is making a really strange, loud noise. There's a lot of issues with the house, where the AC is broken, and among other stuff, house was struck by lightning. We're trying to get that figured out with the insurance so they can cover the repairs. But for now, I'm gonna have to be downstairs to avoid the ungodly heat and completely burning up. As you saw, a little bit of contact there for the lead. The top, what's this, 5, 6, 7 trucks all under a blanket as Crafton finally gets underneath Brian Scott after laying a bumper to him through 3 and 4. Both drivers got a little bit out of shape there, but now Crafton underneath is going to clear that 16 truck down into turn 3. Can Scott fight back? He dives in on the high side, stays alongside his right rear quarter panel. Can he keep the momentum up off turn number 4 to retake the lead? Down the front straightaway, Crafton leads that lap. Second leader of the day. As Matt Crafton finally clears, here comes Mike Skinner in the 5. That was a Bill Davis truck. Bill Davis no longer around in the series. Now it's a Randy Moss truck. And that truck is going to the front here as he moves into second place. Excuse me there. And that's our first 5 laps complete. Jumping ahead, Crafton dominating so far as we do have a caution. And let's see what it's for. Looks like a wreck in the back. The 47 destroyed there. The 21 of, I believe this is Sean Murphy, having an issue. And Richard Harriman nowhere to go. Right into the rear bumper, destroying both of those trucks. And probably effectively ending their days. Just a wrong place, wrong time kind of scenario for the both trucks there. But especially that 47, as he had nowhere to go. Green flag back in the air. Crafton didn't get a good jump. Here comes the 51 Hamlin to his inside. Denny Hamlin, a cup regular, diving underneath. 3 wide for the lead on the bottom here. Johnny Sauter, a former cup driver, now racing full-time here in the trucks. Falls back just a little bit, lost a bit of momentum, gets stuck behind Skinner. Skinner dives back in line behind the 88 of Crafton as he believes that 88 truck is going to prevail off turn number 4. He wants to follow through. 51 of Hamlin getting held down pretty low, right up against the yellow line. Crafton leads that lap. Hamlin still trying to fight back on the inside. Here comes the 5 of Skinner, also trying to pitch that 51. They're going at it hard here for the lead. Racing hard behind them as well. Still side by side. Now Crafton finally clears on the top through 3 and 4. Down into turn 1, shuts the door on Denny Hamlin. Hamlin's going to fall back just a little bit. Can Skinner take advantage? No, Hamlin gets to run off the corner. Back to the inside, looks Hamlin, can he dive in there? Can't quite get there. Crafton left him some room. Skinner dove back to his outside as well. Can't hang on to the quarter panel. Hamlin's going to clear for second. No, not quite. Wrecking behind. Big crash on the front straightaway. It is blocked, and they are stacking them in. Oh man, it's a big time junk on the front stretch. Track completely blocked. Trucks coming flying in, nowhere to go. And you see Timothy Peters is destroyed. Joey Clanton as well in that 79 truck. The MG or the Mac Motorsports guys destroyed here. The 47 with more damage to the front end. Caution's out yet again. Crafton wins the race back to the caution flag. I believe he was the only driver that didn't take the caution that time by, as the wreck happened right as he crossed the start finish line. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. Hop back into it here. We're gonna go ahead and take a look and see what happened. Real quick, I'm gonna have to pause the recording. I'll be right back. Alright, we're back and let's take a look at what happened. Oh man, just ran out of room off turn 4 there. Colin Brown, the first to get turned sideways, checking up, trying to avoid, and they all come stacking in. Let's watch it again here in slow motion. Off of turn number 4, 3 wide. And they just ran out of room. Let's slow it down here. That's Ty Bodine on the inside in the 30 truck. Colin Brown in the middle. Bodine comes up. I don't think he realizes they're 3 wide. And then at the same time, Timothy Peters gets into the rear quarter panel of Johnny Sauter, turning him down into Colin Brown. So that really had nothing to do with Bodine getting into Brown because they still held their line. Peters bounces off the inside wall hard. Slides down the front straightaway. Little bit of contact from the 16 and the 60 of Stacy Compton. Compton's going to go sliding up towards the wall. He might keep it off the wall, actually. He does. For the most part, everybody gets slowed down. There's a little bit of contact, but then people behind just come stacking in. As further back, they were already full stall coming off the corner. Spotter's probably yelling, jump on the brakes, but at these speeds, you can jump on the brakes and it won't make a lick of difference. They're coming off the corner, seeing some smoke. They start hitting the brakes. They start slowing down, trying to slow down, and just can't stop in time. They're going so fast here. It's a 1 mile track. Not exactly a short track, but it races like one. And definitely you see the result of things going wrong here. Once again, from this angle, Brown up into the outside wall, getting turned sideways. Peters hard into the inside wall. Rick Crawford makes a little bit of contact there. No damage to that 14 truck. 16 makes a tiny bit of contact. The 6 does a full spin around, keeps it rolling, but then watch right here as we back it up one more time. The 23 hard on the brakes. The 79 of Joey Clanton tries to slow down as well, but just can't slow down quite as quickly. Obviously doesn't see as well. Gets into the back of the 23. The 23 goes around into the 6, who thought he made it away relatively clean. The other Mac Motorsports trucks come piling in. You see Kevin Harvick in the 2, nowhere to go. Ian Slager in the 87 gets piled into from behind by the 48. That's Brian Silas. And the 48 gets jacked up by Max Pappas in the 9 truck. Brad Keselowski in the 29 comes in. The 85 into the back of Keselowski. It's Brett Raymer. The track's blocked up here. The 1 truck of Johnny Benson. The red flag is out. There's a lengthy cleanup to be made here. Debris and oil and fluid all over the racetrack. Riding on board with Johnny Benson here. As you can see, he probably thought there was a hole further down that he can get down or get through. Just can't quite see. I mean, you can see quite a bit from this angle, but watch from this point of view. We're going to go inside the cockpit of Johnny Benson here. See smoke. It's up high for the most part. It's a little bit down low, so he's just going to trust the truck in front of him, following the trucks in front of him here. and jumping on the brakes and hoping that they have a way through, and the track just gets blocked here. I mean, man, what can you really do? They thought it may be a situation where, there's a hole and they can shoot through the gap by the time they get there. But that closed up. Everybody was going for it. It closed up, and they piled in hard. Yeah, that's what brought out the caution and inevitably the red flag as well. Early in this race still. As we take a quick break, we'll be right back for the restart. Welcome back to the Milwaukee Mile. Matt Crafton still your leader. Denny Hamlin is going to line up to his outside. And that last wreck took out a bunch of good trucks. Colin Brown somehow still keeps his track position even after the spin. I guess he decided not to pit. Same with the 81, has a little bit of damage. We'll see how that holds up for them. Green flag back in the air. Crafton again didn't get a great jump on the restart. Hamlin neck and neck with him there. As here in Money Car, the leader does not determine when we go on restarts. The flag man always determines it. Side by side. Hamlin's going to fall back. Here comes Skinner back in the second yet again. Can't quite clear Hamlin yet, but here Crafton not pulling out too far ahead. Usually you'd like to see him side by side in your mirror, but doesn't really seem to be helping him too much, as they're still right there on this rear bumper, racing hard for second. And now Skinner has a run down the back straightaway. Can he get to Crafton's inside? He's going to lunge into the corner. Can't quite get his nose in there. Crafton left him some space just in case, as we're not even at the halfway point in this race yet. I assume once we get to halfway, they probably wouldn't be leaving each other as much room. But for now, still playing somewhat nice with each other, as Skinner is finally going to get past Hamlin and has set his sight on Crafton 3 wide behind Colin Brown on the bottom of 3 wide yet again. Last time he was the meat and the sandwich. This time he's one of the buns. And boy, oh boy, did they not learn their lesson from last time? More contact, and that might have been payback. As Sauter gets shoved up into the outside wall. As Johnny Sauter was one of the ones to make the initial contact, racing for that position earlier, when they wrecked initially. Six not liking that the 13 had his nose on the outside of 3 wide. Probably didn't realize that the 13 was there, and that may have been a creative and discreet way to get some payback on him, shoving that 16 up into that 13 truck, sending him into the outside wall. Very interesting. We're gonna go ahead and jump forward yet again here as Crafton continues to dominate here from Milwaukee, and the caution is out yet again. Let's see what happened here. Harvick's already destroyed. I don't think the caution's out because of him. Let's see what it was. Oh boy. Who's this slow in turn 4? Oh wait, of Jamie Dick. What happened here? It's like Rick Crawford trying to charge his way back up through the field after pitting, suffering damage earlier, and just Jamie Dick wouldn't get out of his way, so he sends him around into the outside wall. That wasn't very polite, but having a rough day, and clearly he still has a fast truck trying to get back up to the front. Minimal, if any, damage to that truck after making some contact in the wreck earlier, and just trying to work his way back up to the front. Got a little frustrated there. Gets into the back of the 08. May not have meant to send him around. Maybe was trying to move him there, but sent him in the outside wall. That brought out the caution. Green flag back in the air. Crafton again does not get a good jump on the restart. Man, this is becoming a scary trend. As Skinner now tries to pinch him down, but Crafton gets to run off turn number 2. 3 wide behind for third. Todd Bodine, another driver who initiated that contact that led to that big pileup. He was in that 3 wide battle. He's now working his way up in the third place, or at least trying to, side by side with Denny Hamlin for P3. We're doing some full speed pace laps here as they are all side by side. Double file throughout the field. How about the 97 of Val Wolf working her way up? She had a piece of that wreck earlier. Doesn't look like her truck's damaged too much. And that number 97 truck working her way up to the front. Val did a decent job in the 36 truck last season for Mac Motorsports. The equipment wasn't quite as good. The team was still trying to adjust to being a 2 truck operation there. And man, talk about an interesting turn of events. She's back in that 97 truck after being moved over to the 36 for other drivers to share that 97, which ended up being the primary truck for the team. So now she gets moved back into the primary truck full time. It's like maybe they wanted to ride it out, let her develop in that 36 truck for a season, and use this 97, especially with the new truck models. Use that 97 truck for some of the more experienced drivers on the team. See if they could get a couple trophies, get some prize money. But whatever the plan was, it seems to have worked. She's doing really well as she claws her way up into the top 10. She does great on these style of racetracks, these rougher, shorter, lower speed, beating and banging kind of tracks. She's a big fan of these tracks. Loves it when we come here. Loves the super speedways as well. Got her first career win at what was it, Ontario. That one time we had that on the calendar. Very random race to have in the calendar that season, but we had it. Brought the track back from the dead only to drop it a season later. Very unfortunate, but yeah, that track was on the schedule. I remember for MG Cup, the track Trenton was on the schedule at one point. That was also an interesting period of time. But yeah, these guys, they've been all over. As Matt Crafton continues to lead, the 5 of Skinner seems to be holding his own in second. So we're going to jump ahead. Now to the 10 laps to go mark. Things have relatively stayed the same. It's starting to cool down now. Everybody may have made their beds and now it's time to lay in it. But here comes Rick Crawford up in the 11th position. We saw him get kind of frustrated earlier, moving that 08 truck out of the way. Looks like he's found his rhythm and now is working his way back up to the front. Someone please take him out. Anyway, Terry Cook trying to fight back on his outside. Stacey Compton chasing down, is that, what's his name, Jason Young? Jordan something, I don't know. Just throwing names out there, but Jay Young in the 07. I gotta look at the roster again just to memorize some of these names. As you see, Ron Hornaday, the inaugural champion of the series, heavy rear end damage to that 33 truck. So he's going a lap down. And this might spice things up a little bit here, because you saw the 30 had to check up a little bit. Now here comes the 4. The 30 moving down the track to block. The 4 going even lower. J.R. Fitzpatrick to the inside. The Canadian looking for another position on top of the line here. The Onion and the Canadian going at it here for, what's this, P number 3, P4 actually. Joey Clanton now in the 79. Heavy damage. That Zaxby's machine. He's going to hold his line. The 30 pulls out of line, gets underneath. The 4 is going to follow suit. Blocks the 24 as well, who was also going to do the same thing. David Starr now in the rear bumper of J.R. Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick was on the offensive. Now he's playing defense. It's the caution waves yet again. Late in the race, the caution is out. This might change everything. Let's see what the cause is. Oh, we had a multiple truck accident here on the front straightaway. Looks like another case of 3 wide gone wrong. These guys trying to get by some. Oh no, they're all on the same lap. TJ Bell on the outside of that, just innocent bystander. As they started slamming into each other on his inside, and around goes Taylor Malsom in the 81. 23 of Jason White caught up in that as well. 3 trucks making heavy contact. 3 trucks that already had damage, making significant contact with one another there. And that's what brings out the caution late. They were just outside the top 15. Racing hard. And look at this! Mike Skinner on the inside beat Crafton back to the caution flag. Oh my goodness, what happened there? Skinner was just faster, he caught him. Skinner caught up to that 88 truck, gets underneath, and right as the caution comes out, makes the pass for the lead. But is that a smart play from Crafton? Maybe he was going to battle back, but when he realized they were racing back to the caution flag, he let them have it, as it seems the outside line usually gets a better jump on these restarts. As we know, the flag man has control of the restarts here in Money Car. Not the driver, not the leader. And sometimes second place might have a better view. Here we go. Coming to the stripe, it'll be a green-white checkers finish. Skinner, the leader. Crafton, the dominant driver of the day, now in second. Can he fight back and regain the lead? Crafton gets a great jump on the outside. Green flag back in the air. Crafton, can he clear him down into turn 1? He does. Matt Crafton back in the lead through turns 1 and 2. Skinner, not a great launch there. Not a great launch at all. As it's so much easier as the leader to get antsy and spin the tires on a restart. Crafton keeps it calm. Doesn't spin the tires, and he's going to see the white flag. 1 lap to go. Crafton said, y'all aren't robbing me of this win. And he's going to dive down into 1 and 2 and set sail. As now Hamlin to the inside of the 5 truck, racing for second. Lots of hard racing throughout the field, but Matt Crafton pulling away, drives off into the sunset. He's going to come off turn 4 a winner. Matt Crafton sees the checkered flag, and he's going to win at the Milwaukee Mile. What a run from, I hate to give him props, but what a run from Rick Crawford there to battle his way back up inside the top 10. Val Wolf with a hard fight all day comes home 12th. Hamlin, P3, couldn't quite get past Skinner. Mike Skinner has to be hurting after this one. He knows he let that one slip away as he drives into the attenuator. We're gonna pretend that didn't happen. That's the AI being funny. And the 85 is gonna just about do the same thing. But yeah, that's gonna do it. Hope y'all enjoyed. If you did, hit the like button and subscribe. I know this was still a pretty long video for highlight style, but that's gonna do it. Hope y'all enjoyed. Till next time, peace.